Okay, we're recording. Sweet. So, Xander, my best friend in the world, thank you for being here for a
Happy to be
witness
here.
speech. And awesome. Yeah. So my name is Luke Elliott, and Xander, you probably know that at this point. We've been best friends forever. But yeah, so today I'm going to be speaking about the power of smiling. So up until this moment, it was the best first date of my life. I was only slightly awkward, which for me is very huge. I took her out to lunch. We talked, we laughed, and it was great. Everything that could have gone right on the first date actually did end up going right. I then dropped her off at the door and returned to sit in my car for a moment. I gave myself a deserved fist pump and I put the car into reverse. And out of excitement of my success or sheer forgetfulness, I backed up the car. And I ended up backing the car actually right into her front yard's fence, which then proceeded to topple over dramatically, I might add. And I knew that this whole date experience, it was all too good to be true. Luke Elliott, me, will never ever have a perfect first date. It's simply not in my cards. What felt like an out of body experience, I walked up to the door and I prepared to confess what I had done. Her father answered the door, who incidentally happened to be the chief of police, just to make matters worse. And he looked at me, and then he looked at the fence, and then he looked right back at me. And I prepared for a verbal unload of justice. My body tensed, my blood pressure spiked, and I was, well, terrified. Instead, however, he did something strange. He gave me a great big smile. And with that simple smile, I felt an array of relieving emotions. Though the fence was completely destroyed and my car wrecked, I knew everything would be okay. This is one moment in my life out of thousands where a simple smile made all the difference. And further research that I've done has shed light on why a difference is made. On a psychological level, as well as biological chemical levels in our brain, a friendly smile, regardless of its source, brings reciprocal benefits. A nonverbal lift of another person's mouth muscles has the power to positively change how we feel about a situation and the environment we live in. Not only do they change our perspective and outlook on life when we choose to deliberately smile at others and choose to smile even when we don't feel like it, others around us respond to that energy and all are uplifted. So, through studying the power of smiling, the physical effects it has on the brain, and reflecting upon my own experiences as well as the experiences of others, I set out to inform every member of this audience again that smiles are powerful and they have life-changing possibilities. So think of all the times that we engage in smiling. And I'd just like to break this part down in the psychological effects that smiling has. That's the first point I want to stress. When we engage in smiling, oftentimes we do it when we're filled with joy, when we are filled with excitement, when we laugh, when we want to lighten the mood, when we feel awkward. The smile alone is a simple act that's just built into us. In a well-known study published by the National Library of Medicine, babies around the age of 12 weeks already are adept social smilers. That's the term for it, meaning we use smiles to subconsciously transmit emotions to those around us. We are simply natural smiling beings. Obviously, with smiling so built into our behavior, it has an effect on the way we think and our cognition. Smiling does something interesting. When people say a smile is eye-catching, it quite literally really is. Results from when you smile, the world smiles at you. Studies suggest that one person's happy face significantly changes the response to others' neutral faces. Evidence found in EEG and brain scanning technology found that people, when coming into contact with a smiling face, their brain activity spikes. This lends to the idea that the smile is a signal for others to catch. When the signal is received, what happens within our thinking? Firstly, a sense of approachability is attained. Smiling acts in a mirroring effect. When I smile at someone and they smile back at me, I'm able to say in my brain that there is an understanding. Not only an understanding on my part, but a mutual understanding. It is a way for us to, as Sophie Scott, a neuroscientist at the University of College in London, says, it helps us build strong bonds between individuals in a group. Think, if you will, for a moment, with a world without smiling. Isolation would just personally eat me alive. And according to Ron Gutman, author of Smile, The Astonishing Powers of a Simple Act, British researchers found that one smile can generate the same level of brain stimulation as up to 2,000 bars of chocolate. That is so many chocolate bars we would be missing out on. However silly this quote is, I do love one thing specifically from the quote. It talks of smiling bringing forth mass amounts of brain stimulation. Stimulation of any kind in the mind is how our mind pieces together reality. Missing that stimulation would prove destructive for our development, and we would be unable to fully understand and truly be integrated with our fellow humans. So the second point I want to make is smiling changes our brain chemistry and creates a ripple effect. So when we smile, we release a set of hormones in our brains, one of which is serotonin, another is endorphins, and the other is dopamine. So let's examine these hormones specifically. These are the joy hormones, the ones that make us happy. Serotonin regulates homeostasis and much of mood stability. Endorphins are the body's natural painkiller. And dopamine is the chemical that makes us feel good. The joy hormones are essential for something simple in our life, something we all desire, and something that makes life worth living. The joy hormones are essential for joy. Without these hormones, life would become terrible really, really fast. This is why it is important for us to smile. It facilitates an easy way to foster these hormones. So I encourage each of you to find time to laugh and find time to smile at others. Force yourself to smile and the effects will be felt. Concluding, the simplest of all ways to bring forth these feelings of joy in our life is a smile. That right there is power. Thirdly, I'd like to draw on kind of just my own perspective on things. We have seen the facts. Now I invite the audience to think of their own life experiences about smiling and that have proved beneficial in their own lives. And I believe there's a lot of power in personal experiences. And so going back to kind of my opening story, it was right at that moment. It was like, because I felt all this anxiety and all this angst. And then right when he smiled, the world changed. I felt happiness. I, in real time and in real life, felt the effects of those psychological and hormonal effects happening in my mind. So that is my story. What is yours? What did you feel before the smile happened in your life? Did the smile uplift you? Did another person's smile make you feel worse? I highly doubt it. I ask you to continue thinking of personal stories and truly relate this concept to yourselves in real life and in real time. Let's go and look at some examples of the power of smiling to bring the concept more to life. And so smiling is, there's a lot of famous smiles out there that really stand out. One of which is the Mona Lisa, which has drawn the attention of the world and 6 million live viewers every year. And two of my favorite smilers in history, I refer to as the two great Wills. They are Will Smith and Will Ferrell. They take away my worries by making me laugh and feel comforted just by thinking about them. That's the power of a smile. My mom always says the moment she just sees Will Ferrell's derpy smile, it's over. She's already laughing. Like the chocolate bars, I understand how silly this may sound, but think about it. The people in our lives who we feel relief from are the ones that are quick to give a reassuring smile. Through seeing the power of smiling in our own lives, as seeing how it psychologically has changed individual lives, and seeing how it biologically changes our brain chemistry, I hope each of you learned that through these points, and as well as my personal experiences, a smile is more than just a smile, that it is simply a human signal. It doesn't take a lot to smile. In fact, it's far easier to smile than it is to frown. It's not subject to any race, any religion, or group of people. We are all entitled to smiling. It is a God-given, godly attribute. It is our weapon to cut through these divisions we place ourselves in society. Smiling signalizes humanizing others, it signals empathy, and it signals radiance. Smiling is powerful. And as Will Smith says, one half of the iconic Will smiling duo, a man who loves to flash a bright smile and bring positivity everywhere he goes. Let your smile change the world, and don't let the world change your smile. Thank you so much. That's my presentation.